College life is a wild roller coaster of emotions. From last-minute assignments to surviving on instant noodles. And for me, Rohan, and my best friends Kabir and Samir, it was no different. We had one motto in life: study less, enjoy more, and somehow pass the exams. We were inseparable, always finding ourselves in bizarre situations that no normal student would willingly walk into. One fine Monday morning, when the sun was shining and the birds were chirping, we were faced with an existential crisis: attend Professor Sharma's economics class or save our souls from his 2-hour lecture that could put even an insomniac to sleep. The decision was obvious. Bunking it is, I declared, dramatically throwing my book into my bag. But what if Sharma sir takes attendance today? Samir asked, always the worrier. Kabir smirked. Simple, we pretend to be sick. I nodded, or better yet, we fake a campus emergency. Like a dog stuck in the library. And so the plan was set, but just as we were sneaking out through the back gate, we heard the dreaded voice of Professor Sharma behind us. Where do you three think you're going? Thinking on his feet, Samir clutched his stomach and groaned. Sir, food poisoning. I think the canteen's samosas were actually last week's leftovers. Kabir immediately followed suit. Holding his forehead, Sir, I think I have a fever. Probably contagious. Best if I leave before I infect the whole class. Eyes, however, panicked under pressure. Sir, I forgot to feed my pet goldfish this morning. It's an emergency. You have a goldfish, since when? Sharma sir squinted suspiciously. I nodded furiously. Since last night. His name is Gulab Jamun. Needless to say, we ended up sitting through the entire lecture, with Sharma sir occasionally giving me side-eye, probably wondering if I had lost my mind. Life in a college hostel was nothing short of an adventure, especially when you had limited resources and an unlimited appetite. One night, hunger struck at 1 a.m. and there was nothing edible in the room except instant noodles and some random spices. How about we make our own version of a 5-star meal? Kabir suggested. Define 5-star, Samir asked, already skeptical. Anything that's not burnt, Kabir replied confidently. And so the mission began. We borrowed an electric kettle from our neighbor, mixed the noodles with masala, ketchup, and a suspiciously old-looking can of sweet corn, and waited for the magic to happen. Looks edible, I said, poking at the bubbling mixture. Samir took a hesitant bite and immediately turned red. Kabir, what did you put in this? My tongue is on fire. Kabir looked at the spice bottle in his hand. Oh, I thought this was garam masala. Turns out it's chili powder. I meanwhile was trying to cool Samir down by fanning him with a notebook. This is not a 5-star meal. Kabir, this is a 5-alarm fire. Despite the disaster, we still ate the noodles because, well, hunger always wins over common sense. No story about college life is complete without an exam disaster. We had mastered the art of procrastination and found ourselves cramming the night before our most feared subject, mathematics. Okay, if I fail, I'm going to blame you too. Samir groaned, flipping through pages at lightning speed. Relax, Kabir reassured him. We've got this. If all else fails, just write random numbers confidently. Confidence is key. The next morning, as we sat in the exam hall, I took one look at the first question and whispered, "Is this even in the syllabus?" Samir paled. We had a syllabus. Kabir, meanwhile, was too busy writing numbers randomly. Living up to his own advice, halfway through the exam, I tried to peek at Samir's paper, but he was equally lost. The only thing he had written so far was his name, incorrectly. The invigilator, unfortunately, caught us whispering and approached our desk. Thinking quickly, I looked at Samir's blank answer sheet and said loudly, "Sir, I was just asking if Samir has a pen." Look at his sheet, he clearly hasn't started yet. The invigilator glanced at the empty sheet and sighed. Focus on your own paper, boys. And you, Samir, at least try to write something. As soon as the invigilator walked away, Samir turned to me. That was genius. I shrugged. Yeah, but now we actually have to answer the questions. Any ideas? Kabir grinned, writing in big bold letters, I agree with whatever the teacher thinks is the answer. One fateful day, the college announced a talent show. And for reasons unknown, Kabir signed the three of us up for a dance performance. Kabir, we can't dance, Samir protested. Speak for yourself, I dance every time I see food, I said. But it was too late to back out. We practiced for 3 whole days, or rather. We spent 3 days arguing over which song to pick, and whether flossing was a legitimate dance move. The final decision, a remix of Bollywood and random hip-hop steps we had seen on Instagram. The night of the performance, we were pumped with confidence, until the music system glitched. Instead of our carefully chosen remix, the speakers blasted a slow, romantic song. Oh no, Samir whispered. Just go with it, Kabir said, dramatically twirling me in an unplanned ballet move. The audience burst into laughter. We had somehow turned our performance into a comedy act. And by the end of it, the principal himself was in tears from laughing too much. We may not have won first place, but we definitely won hearts and got free samosas from the canteen uncle, which was the real victory. Despite our chaotic adventures, bunked classes, failed cooking experiments, and disastrous exams, I knew these were the moments we would cherish forever. You know, when we graduate, I'm going to miss all this madness, Samir said one evening, staring at the sunset. Me too, I agreed, except for exams, never again. Kabir nodded, and next time we try to cook, let's just order pizza instead. And with that we laughed, knowing that no matter where life took us, we would always have our legendary college memories, and a lifelong friendship that even a failed math exam couldn't break.